Good evening. Friday Night Live again. We have a pretty packed house already tonight. 18, I see. I actually have some stuff to talk about too. Hello, Pipe Grump. How are you this evening? We're smoking the Church Warden with plain old ribbon burley. And that's it. Pipes and kayaks. How are you? Jason, how are you? Man of York, good evening. Olivewood Piper. Smokin' Briar. Darren Collar. Next. Vic Grigg. The Vintage Piper. Pipes and Beans. We're going to be talking about you tonight. Hello, Habar. 802 Piper. Tampa. Chris O'Donnell. Cowdog 30. Couch. Got a thing about couches. So, Grant, how are you? Element of Darkness. Central Pipe Smoker, how are you? Gotta show you what I got in the mail this week from Derek Hill, all the way from the UK. It's a cigar cutter, German cigar cutter. It'll do the regular cut or a V cut. Beautiful piece. Leather wrapped. Almost poked myself with my Church Warden here. So that's going to come in handy. And some of you may have noticed, if you have a YouTube channel, on your channel page over on the right, every once in a while you get a notification about something to do with YouTube. And the most recent notification was about the community tab, which apparently they're rolling out slowly. I know when I first got the notice, I didn't have the tab. But anyway, they have a bunch of tutorials for you to watch about the community tab. And you can post messages to your audience and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things you can do is create a poll so that you can poll your viewers, what they want to see and stuff like that. So I decided I'd go for it. Put up a poll about what people would like to see on a live stream. And I gave them 4 choices. The first one was how-to video or how-to discussions. The second one was personal stories of mine. Next one was questions and answers. And the last one was weekly special subjects. And I had over 200 responses to the poll, which was amazing in itself. But the results were shocking. 31% said they wanted to see how to or hear how to. 51% said they'd want to hear stories. That kind of surprised me. 9% questions and answers, 9% weekly specials. So, what kind of floored me was pretty much what I'm doing with the live stream since I've been doing them is I try to come up with a weekly, at least one weekly subject to talk about. So there's 9% only want to hear about some kind of a weekly special. And then I try to answer some questions each live stream, and there's that other 9%. So I've been barking up the wrong tree, I guess. And I think I've mentioned before, um, since so many people put down personal stories, it's really difficult to tell a story during a live stream. Although I did do it and got away with it New Year's Eve, because you've got the comments coming up, and you're sort of conscious about whether you're still connected to the internet or not. So that kind of throws you off. So there were some interesting comments too. I think I had 10 people actually write comments, and somebody said, well, the stories don't have to be personal stories, they can just be stories about anything. Because when you sit down to smoke a pipe, it's kind of fun to listen to somebody just kind of ramble on with the story. So I got to do some pondering on what I'm going to do, or if I'll change or whatever, because there's no way I'm going to complain about the number of people that I get when I do a live stream. It's 3 times more than I'd expect, or 4 times more than I'd expect. So I've been happy with the results. And that leads me into the next point. In my analytics for the live streams, people are sticking with them. Anything over a minute and a half of viewing time on YouTube is like considered excellent. And my average view time is like 6 minutes. So I'll take it. Boy, this is good. Nothing like just burley every once in a while. Can't do it all the time, but once in a while. Eric, blue collar pipe smoker, you should be smoking this burley stuff here. It's Ralph. Jeffers, 58. How are you? How long does it take for you to break in a non-precarbonized? It tastes sour for me for a long time. Um, there's a good question. Breaking in a precarbonized bowl. Some people hate it. I love it. The taste of charred briar, I sort of have a love-hate relationship with it because it can get sour and it has a weird taste to it. But you know that you're doing the pipe some good by doing it. Um, I usually say something like 5 smokes and you should be well charred. if you're well charred and you're still getting a sourness out of the pipe, then it's something in your stem or your shank is dirty or something. Love breaking in a new pipe. Or smoking a pipe that hasn't been smoked in a long time. That's a lot of fun too. Get an estate pipe and you try to figure out what the other person was smoking in it. Sometimes you wish you hadn't done it. So, we're going to get to pipes and beans. Pipes and Beans sent me a message, I think on Facebook, I think. And he's been fooling around with whole leaf tobacco, which I looked into at one point. And after all my failed blending attempts, I decided I wouldn't pursue it, although I still might, because I'm not sure if he uses wholeleaf.com. Anyway, there's a place right at the end of the street where I work that's called Whole Leaf, and it's wholesale tobacco leaves. And I've never gone up there. I really should, but like at the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is hang around town, so I usually beat it. So anyway, he's been messing around with whole leaf, and he's actually twisted whole leaves into ropes. And basically what he says is there's no toppings or casings, and he decided to give me a challenge by sending me a sample of his work, and he wants me to try to figure out what is in this twist. And I'll tell you right up front, I'm I'm not going to be able to do this because, well, let me show you the twist. I already had a bowl of this, and the reason I say I can't do it is because there's only one thing that I can definitely say there is in this. Let me see if we get that in the light the right way. There's some dark stuff there. Really nice. I'm losing some of it. So I gotta cut some of this up. I guess I'll do it right on here. Yeah. There's only one thing that I could taste in the first bowl that I had. And supposedly there's, I think it's 5 components. Yeah. So I gotta try to figure out the percentages of the 5 components used in this twist. And when I was all finished with the first bowl, I said, well, you know what? The reason I can't figure this out is because I've never smoked real whole leaf stuff before. I've always had manufactured stuff where, you know, even the Virginia, quite often they add sugar to it. So that looks pretty good. We're going to use Ginger's favorite. And we're going to load this up. And you will get to see me make a fool of myself when I try to figure out what this is. Beautiful leaves. And of course, Twist tobacco goes all the way back to the discovery of tobacco. Apparently, Native Americans twisted tobacco. We all know about the when they were bringing tobacco back on ships. It was usually twisted, and they'd cut off a hunk and either put it in a pipe or chew it. Okay. We will light this up. See if there's any change from when I tried this earlier in the week. One slight change. Delicious. So, just get a little bit of cigar leaf out of this. And there's a flavor to it that sort of reminds me of burley. But it's almost like white burley. If anyone's ever smoked a bowl of white burley, it's like you're smoking nothing except the whole room is like full of smoke. You get this tasteless smoke. But there is flavor to this. But I'm going to say that there must be white burley in this. The one thing I got tonight that I didn't get earlier this week was a very pleasant side note on the first light. Which I usually get from Virginia's, but I'm not getting the sweetness or the not overpowering, but more side notes that I would get with Virginia. Cigar leaf in the background. I think there's a possibility that there's Orientals or something like that. But to try to come up with 5 different leaves, it's a killer. And if I could give you a description other than a mild, slight cigar taste, and a very subdued tobacco taste that you'd get out of a burley, I'm at a loss. Now, he did send the answers in a sealed envelope. Do I want to change any of my I pre-populated his he gave me the percentages of what's in it but not what's in it. So I have to figure out there's 45% of something. I'm going with white burley. There's 20% of something. I'm going with cigar leaf there. 15% of something else. I'm going with like a regular burley there. Not dark burley though. 10%, I'm going to shoot for some kind of oriental. And the last 10%, I'm going to say is Virginia. Lord only knows. As I said to Pipes and Beans, though, what a pleasure it is to smoke this. You could smoke this all day long. Very pleasant, but not overpowering, and the little bit of cigar leaf that you pick up, fantastic. Watch, there won't be any cigar leaf in it. I think we'll put this down. I might fall out of my chair. All right, 45%. Wow, 45% is red Virginia. Absolutely amazing. Definitely wouldn't have guessed that. 20% dark fired. Didn't pick it up at all. 15% Macedonian Orientals. Okay, that's pretty good, but I don't think I got the percentage on that right. 10% Perique. Sorry, no Perique. Didn't catch it. 10% air-cured cigar leaf. Now there's a bonus here. The whole twist was stoved in the presence of a cinnamon stick just to add a little extra. Isn't that hilarious? Because the side note that I got when I was lighting up, I think, had a little bit of a cinnamon to it. That was kind of fun. So, Pipes and Beans. You blew me away. But, yeah, I love that stuff. Thank you very much, Jason. I did my best. I will have to say, not ever having unprocessed Virginia may be the reason that I didn't pick that up. Although I did have the unprocessed Virginia leaf from the guy over in Slovenia or wherever he was from. I still have some of that left, actually. And that was very tasty. But anyway. So not much else new in the 860 area. Went out this morning and took my video camera and stuff with me, but I just wasn't in the mood to do a video, so I just went out and kind of had some fun and took some pictures. Might do a video tomorrow, but I haven't made up my mind yet. And of course we had trouble again with the lawnmower. I don't know. Darn carburetor. I definitely am going to have to drain the gas tank every winter. The next time the gas tank is empty, I think I'm going to have to run some water through it, because there must be garbage stuck in it from last winter. I can take that carburetor apart now in about 5 minutes, which isn't too bad. 89 in the house, we'll take it. Gateway Piper says, you and Sarge need to do more videos together. Well, we're getting together with Pipes and Kayaks here pretty soon. July 6th. Olive Wood Piper wanted to know if I ever smoked an olive wood pipe. Almost bought one once, but I never have. The Utopian. How are you, Dale? Good to see you in the crowd. Do I smoke weed? No, not anymore. All it did was get me depressed and sometimes in a lot of trouble. I didn't mind the trouble, but I hate being depressed. Boy, look at the plume of smoke we're getting with this. I still can't taste the Virginia. Tinker Toy 701, I've been fine, thank you. Watch out for those guys in the picture. What guys in what picture? Oh, I sent Pipes and Kayaks a couple of pictures this morning. Somehow an old picture wound up getting added to what I sent him. It was pretty funny. It's a picture of a bunch of old men in McDonald's sitting around a table. I think that's what he's talking about. Yes, interesting how much processing affects the flavor. And I still don't even like to believe it, but to some degree, every commercial tobacco, pipe tobacco that you buy has been altered in some way. And you might hear me say a lot of times, I don't like anything added to my burley and that kind of stuff, but there's always something that's done somewhere along the line. And even like I said with Virginias, they'll spray them with sugar water. What are you going to do? Pipes and Beans, if you're still on, do you use wholeleaf.com? Natchez looks 20 years younger. Is it the summer sun? No, it's my hair's falling out or something. SRT, glad you could take this break. Yes, sir, wholeleaf.com. They are within walking distance from where I work, and I can't believe I haven't gone in there. This is actually getting better at the bottom of the bowl. Yeah, I should call those guys up and ask them if I can come in with my camera going. Yeah, I still work. I work for at least another year and a half. And I'll work beyond that, but it won't be a management position. I hope. Yeah, a tour of Whole Leaf would be cool. I'll have to work on that. Have you ever tried to blend your own tobacco? Yes, I have. And Pipe and Beans may agree with me. Pipe blending is a blast. You learn a lot. It's fun to experiment. But at the end of the day, you say, you know what? I'm going to leave this to the blenders that know what they're doing. I often think about Haunted Bookshop and how well those components are matched up with each other. And I have the Virginia, I've got the Burley, I've got the Perique, but anytime I've tried, I can't even come close to it. You'd think it would be so easy, but it isn't. And I've made some stuff that has tasted pretty good, but it's a lot of trial and error. How good is Haunted Bookshop on 1 to 10? For me, it's a 10. And there's only a couple of things that came close to taking me away from Haunted Bookshop. One was Billy Budd. One was Gentleman Callers. And Riverboat Gambler almost did it for me. But the reason it didn't mainly was because I couldn't get it in bulk. And it was totally outrageous to buy by the tin. Real McCoy, Piper, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, there is more to mixing. There is more to blending than just mixing the components together. I think you got to have magic hands or something. Alrighty, that's what I had for tonight. Thanks an awful lot for stopping by and taking a break with me and having a smoke. You may see me tomorrow in a video. If not, we'll catch you next Friday night live. Everybody have a good weekend.